Hello, and welcome back to another book tasting. Today, I have two books that I'm going to share with you guys. They are both from the same series. They are a quick read, and there are two more that we have as ebooks at the library that you guys can get if you really like these first two books. They are a series of mysteries. Excuse the truck going by. So the books are a series of mysteries about two rookie detectives, Lark and Kana, who are also twins that go around their neighborhood and their community and solve mysteries. They have a little help from their halmoni, which is Korean for grandmother, and a whole lot of support from their parents, who are Swahili and Korean. This is a wonderful story about two biracial children who live in a multicultural household that solve mysteries. The first book that I have today is Lark Holds the Key, and then the second one is Lark and the Diamond Caper. Lark Holds the Key is the first in the series, and this book introduces you to Lark and Connor and all the other characters that are in their lives, like their parents and their halmoni and the people in the community, and even some of their friends that they have show up in their stories. Now, this book, Lark Holds the Key, is about their very first mystery. And they are on their summer vacation heading to the library to pick up some books. And lo and behold, when they get there, a mystery has evolved. The librarian, Mrs. Robinson, is sitting outside looking very sad. And the Larks, and not the Larks, their last name is Ba. So the Bas want to know what's going on. So Lark, like a little private investigator, starts asking questions. Now, as they ask questions, they start retracing the trail that Mrs. Robinson took on her way to the library to find the lost library key. Lark and Connor look for clues, ask their questions, and even investigate some people along the way. Now, I'm not going to tell you what happens, but I will say, if they want to check out books, they're going to need to help find that key, or at least somebody is going to need to find that key. So if you want to know if they find the key and check out those books, then you definitely need to read Lark Holds the Key. In my next book, Lark and the Diamond Caper, the two are once again at it in another mystery. Now, after their first mystery of finding the lost library key, they go on another hunt, a diamond hunt. They are so excited that they solved their first mystery that they want to advertise and make it a job for them for the summer. Now, they start to make all these kinds of really cool private investigator posters and want to put them up around the community. Once they get to the general store, there's the mystery. They find themselves in the middle of a crime scene. Mr. and Mrs. Lee, who own the general store, have lost a pair of diamond earrings, and they suspect that somebody stole them. Now, with lots of questions and lots of clues to find, Lark and Connor want to save the day, and hopefully they will find who and where those diamond earrings are before the police get there. So if you want to find that out, come to the library and check out Lark and the Diamond Caper. Now that I've told you a little bit about these books, let's go ahead and start reading. I'm going to start with my first book, and I'm going to read chapter 1 and kind of jump around a little bit just to whet your appetite. And then we'll move on to the second book. So, chapter 1. My name is Lark Ba, and I have ants in my pants. Not really. That would be gross and not so much fun for the ants. Ants in my pants means it's hard for me to sit quietly. It's something my halmoni, that's Korean for grandmother, says when I'm really excited. Now, what's really cool in these stories is that Lark is the one that is telling the story, and she's still learning words. So as you read this book, you'll see her learn how to write some of these words. Like right here, for excited, she's learning how to spell it. Do you see it right here? She crosses out the different ways until she gets it correct. And there are also spots where she just kind of forgets what word she's trying to use. Sometimes she remembers, and sometimes she doesn't. I wonder if you read this book and you come to one of those words that she just can't remember, if you guys know the word. But let's keep going. Only I wasn't sitting. I was laying down in bed, waiting, patient-like, until, psst, Connor. I leaned over and looked at the bottom bunk. Connor, are you awake? Connor's my little brother. He's much younger than me. Yeah, I'm awake. Are you? I sighed. Yes. If I was sleeping, I wouldn't be talking, would I? Yeah, you would. You talk a lot. I ignored that. Are you excited? Yes. Today is going to be awesome. It's going to be the bestest day ever. Lark, you say that every day. Anyway, bestest isn't a word. I sighed. It should be. It's a great word. I love words. Maybe I should be a writer when I grow up. Then I can make up great words like bestest. I turned on the lamp and said, yep, I'm going to be a writer. Then I'm going to make bestest a word. And there's the two. Lark, gonna isn't a word either. Anyway, I thought you were going to be an actor. I think I'll be both. That way, I can write the stories I want to act in. Connor rolled his eyes. I decided to be patient because he was just little. I climbed down from the top bunk. Today was the third day of summer vacation. On the first day, Connor and I started a circus. We tried to teach our dog Max how to dance. He wasn't so good at that, and we broke 2 lamps. Mom said we had to do something else, something that didn't include Max or her lamps. Yesterday, we tried to do a people-only circus with our friends Kate and Franklin. No lamps were broken, but Franklin tried to do a special jump. He jumped great, but he also made a hole in the wall with his head. Dad said no more circuses. He used his grumpy voice. And that's when Halmoni suggested we all go to the library instead. Only Halmoni didn't call it a library. She called it the Temple of Secrets. She said books contain secrets between their pages. And when you read a book, you can find all kinds of treasures. I'm going to get 50 books, I told Connor. I'm going to get 100. Do you think Mom and Dad will remember to take us? I nodded. Yes. I put a note on the fridge, and in the bathroom, and in their shoes, and in their coat pockets. I would have put one in their car, too, but Babu, that's Swahili for grandfather, told me a long time ago that I wasn't supposed to be in the car without a grown-up. You sure they won't forget? Connor looked worried. I knew because his forehead went all squiggly. What if they don't wake up in time? I sighed. Little brothers are so much work. If you're worried, let's go check. I'm not worried, but the last time we woke them up, I say we should go. It shows we have... I couldn't remember the word. started with an N or maybe an I, and it was a big word. It shows we care. I'm your big sister, and that's my decision. You're not older. Yes, I am. We're twins. I'm the older one. He made a growly noise. Only by 10 minutes. Still older. I gave him my best big sister look. Are you going to come with me, or are you too scared? So that's the end of chapter 1. Now I want to jump over into this next chapter, which I think is like the end of chapter 4 going into chapter 5, and it just kind of gets you started on when they're going to the library and they get started on their first mystery. So let's see, they're on their way. So we turned the corner for the library and I saw the doors. I also saw something else, and I did not like it one bit. Nope, nope, nope. The librarian, Mrs. Robinson, was married to her school principal. Normally, we found her busily shelving books or helping people at the checkout counter. Today, she was sitting outside on one of the benches. Well, not really sitting. She looked like one of my birthday balloons when they start leaking. Mrs. Robinson saw us and gave a sad wave. Mrs. Robinson, what happened? How come the library isn't open? Asked Connor. She sniffled. Then she snuffled. I lost the key to the library. Holy crickets! This was pretty big. No wonder she sniffled and snuffled. Connor lost our house key one time. Dad used his really grumpy voice when he found out. I climbed onto the seat next to her. Don't worry, Mrs. Robinson. Connor loses stuff all the time. Hey, said Connor. So do you. He turned to the librarian. Lark's lost her mittens and her sweater, and one time, Mom and Lark had lost their mind. He scrunched his mouth. But I'm not sure how she knew that. Mom made a gurgling sound, and Hermione coughed. I glared at Connor. Then I gave Mrs. Robinson a smile. Smiling always makes people feel better. When Connor lost his key, it was okay, because I had mine. Does anyone else have a key? She shook her head sadly. No. Well, yes, Millie, the assistant librarian, has one, but she's on vacation. This doesn't seem like very good planning, I told her. Next time, Millie should maybe give her key to someone else. Someone who's responsible and stuff. I thought about it. She should give it to me. I never lose stuff. Connor laughed. She should give it to us, I said. We hardly ever lose stuff. Connor smiled and nodded. Mom put her hand on her forehead and looked at the sky. Mrs. Robinson gave me a shaky smile. I'll tell her that. What about Pete? Asked Mom. Can't he help? Pete was I don't know the name, but he got to break into people's cars and houses. Plus, he never got arrested. Plus, sir, he got to drive in a really cool truck. I phoned, said Mrs. Robinson. He's out at the Andersons' farm, putting new locks on the house. He could be gone until this afternoon. This was a big problem. The library couldn't stay closed for that long. People would be upset with Mrs. Robinson, and I didn't like that. She was a nice lady. When I lose something, I close my eyes. I try to remember what I was doing when I lost the thing. Mrs. Robinson smiled back. That's a good idea, Lark. That's what I was doing when you arrived, but I just can't think of where I lost it. Maybe you should tell us where you've been, I said, and we can help. She nodded. So there you go. Lark and Connor are getting on their way to their very first mystery. Now, in the second book of Lark and the Diamond Paper, the two are getting ready to get started on their second mystery. But first, I'm going to read the first chapter, which introduces you to how excited they were in solving their first mystery. And they are also getting ready for another family magic night. Now, these magic nights are hosted by their parents in their house with their family, and they do it once a month. And everybody must perform at least one super cool magic trick. So chapter 1. My name is Lark and I have butterflies in my stomach. So remember in the last book, she had ants in her pants. Well, today, she has butterflies in her stomach. Well, not really. That would be awful for the butterflies, and it wouldn't be much fun for me either. Butterflies in my stomach is something my Halmoni, that's Korean for grandmother, says. It means I'm really excited or nervous. Right now, I am both. Yesterday, my brother Connor and me solved our very first mystery, which was amazing because Connor is my younger brother. I'm older by 10 whole minutes, which is a lot of minutes, and I don't think he would be such a great big help. But he was. Our case was the bestest. The librarian, Mrs. Robinson, had lost the key to the library. That made us investigators, which made me so happy, especially because investigators rhymes with alligators, and I love those. Today was going to be even better, more exciting day. Today, Connor and I were going to solve another mystery. I was excited because I didn't know what kind of mystery it would be, but that wasn't why I had butterflies in my stomach. I had butterflies in my stomach because Connor and I had to practice our magic trick for a family talent night. Family talent night is about learning to do something unusual or cool. Dad calls it everyday magic. Once a month, Mom and Dad decorate our living room with colored lights and put on old folks music. Then we have a contest to see who can perform the coolest trick. Last month, Dad won because he fit 30 cheese crackers in his mouth. The time before, Mom won for making a hula hoop spin around her waist for 1,000,000 years. Okay, well, maybe not that long, but it was a long time. Connor and I are determined to win this family talent night. We're going to practice and practice and practice until we are the bestest. At least, we are going to practice as soon as we figure out what trick to do. I think I should saw you in half, I said. That would be a great trick. No way, Connor shook his head. You're clumsy and klutzy, and I am not. You are so. I don't think you should have a saw or anything sharp in your hands. Ever. I sighed. But it would be cool. I could saw you in half, he said. You're too little to do that. I am not. I decided to ignore him. We had more important decisions to make. We could argue later. What about if we turn Max into a rabbit? I asked. We could dress him up in a top hat and a red cape. Max is our dog. He was sleeping beside Connor on the couch. He lifted his head when I said his name. I rubbed his ears and said, You'd make a great assistant. We just have to get Mom and Dad to get us a rabbit. Said Connor. Max doesn't like it when we make him wear his winter coat. He won't like the cape, and I think he'll try to eat the hat. Plus, I don't think Mom and Dad will get us a rabbit. Those are good points. Finding a really great trick for the magic trick is tougher than I thought. You know what would be a great trick? Making you disappear, said Connor. But you know what would be an even greater trick, he asked? Making you be quiet. Mom and Dad and Halmoni will never believe it if we do that trick. I can be quiet. No, you can't. You talk a lot. I took a breath and decided to be patient. After all, I was his big sister. We need a good trick. And remember, I'm the magician. You are the assistant. Only for the first time we do the trick. But when we do it again, I get to be the magician. Neither of us will get to be a magician if we can't come up with a trick. Connor closed his eyes. I still like the idea of making something disappear, even if it can't be Max or an annoying sister. I'm not annoying, and I'm your big sister. Twin sister. I'm older. By 10 minutes, Connor said. I'm still older, and I patted his head. But when we grow up, I'll let you be taller, so we both win. So that is the start of this book, and you get this funny relationship between brother and sister, like most relationships are with siblings. And you also get to see them working out, trying to figure out what cool trick they're going to do for their magical talent show that night. So it's actually quite humorous to read these two banter back and forth and learn about this relationship that they have with each other, which is so much fun. And if you have a brother or even a sister, you could probably relate to Lark and Connor's relationship. Well, that is all I have for today. So I hope to see you guys come running into the library to check out these two great books. And if you like them so much, hop on and pick up the ebooks so that you can read them as well. And let me know how much you liked the series. All right, happy reading, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.